Okay, part two. So we're kind of spooked, you know, that was kind of creepy. We, you know, we're kind of freaked out. So we talked about it in detail, what really happened, what she saw, how it felt, how long it was before I woke up. And as we're talking about it, out of the corner of my eye, I see like this like ball of energy, like this big, kind of swirling around the room. And it's a rather small room. And it's like swirling and it's going around kind of like at the top of the room, like at the ceiling. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm thinking that she can't see this because I'm pretty used to being able to see ghosts and spirit activity and all sorts of crazy things. This is her first ghost experience. And she's like, do you see that? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, do you think that's him? And I'm like, no. I'm like, that's a woman. And as soon as I say that, it's like into the room, and here he comes. He was not to be outdone. He was not going to just sit by quietly while this woman was protecting us, I guess. We're not even sure. And so now he's like swirling around her area. And the same thing, like a little ball of energy at the end of where she's like sleeping. And she looks at me and she's like, I can't sleep in here. I'm like, yeah, me neither. We bolt down the stairs. We go down, end up sleeping in the living room. My dad and my stepmom next morning were like, why are you two like sleeping in the living room? And my friend launches into this big story and they're just looking at her like, oh, that's cute. Yeah. We're like 21. We had not been drinking, completely sober, and they gaslit us. Totally didn't believe what happened. I mean, I literally saw the thumb and the fingerprints on this poor girl's throat. And it was like the hand was bigger than hers. So it wasn't like she could have even done it. I believed her 100%, and not so much. I will give you another spooky, scary story at another time about why my dad really secretly believed her. But at that point, they just pretended like that absolutely didn't happen, and we must have been drinking, and we must be crazy, and oh, what a nice dream that was. Oh, a terrible nightmare. Like, they just like completely gaslit us. I guess I should have known that. But anyway, to this day, she says that was one of the most freaky experiences she's ever had. She's had other experiences, but that was absolutely the worst one. Up until then, I never believed that a ghost could hurt you. Nah, I think a little differently now, so I always say you have to be careful. Remember, there are people too.